Hello, I'm Kobe Rutland, and my speech is about ketamine. Ketamine, you say? What is ketamine? Well, ketamine is a drug used in the medical business as a anesthesia drug, as it helps start and keep people obviously unconscious. The history of ketamine starts back in 1962, where it was first synthesized, and over the years of other testing, in 1970 it was actually approved to be used as an anesthesia drug. And so during the Vietnam War, they used it as a anesthesia drug because it was very safe, as it didn't make the patients who get it die because of their inflicted wounds, as some other anesthesias would be too heavy and I presume would actually kill the user. What is ketamine made of? Well, ketamine is a weird kind. It is a ketamine is a drug that is made of chlorid. Oh, this is hard because I literally said it. Chloridophenol and methanol. I think it was. Yeah, it's methanol, not methanol, but what is it? Come on. It's like a meth. It's not methanol, but it's like a methaphenol. Um, that's what it's basically made of. That is its chemical constitution. Composition. How is it used in medical purposes? Well, as I first stated, it is used as an anesthesia drug to help people maintain anesthesia or go into it. It can also help asthma patients as it relaxes the airways, which allows the bronchioles to expand to allow more air in so that they don't start suffocating. Seizures, it helps ketamine helps seizures by that it is used as a last stop measure to seizures, as other drugs that actually use it or actually stop seizures sometimes don't work, and so ketamine's like, it's kind of like last gateway it's like a last. Oh no, it's not used in like a few like huge place of like, oh, it stops pain, but it's like, let's say you get morphine, you don't need as much morphine if you take ketamine, and also loses nausea, vomiting, and other things like that. So it's more of like a stopgap kind of. It's not a stopgap, it's just a additive, basically. It just adds to it so it's not as bad, as it has the same effects of opioids. Basically, ketamine's basically just a replacement for opioids, because as it is less addictive compared to other opioids. It's actually very non-addictive. It's very hard to get actually addicted to ketamine. You have to take a lot of it. But as of everything, too much of a good thing is bad. And finally, the biggest thing that it helps, one of the biggest things that it helps, is depression. As in 2019, there was clinical tests going about using ketamine in depression, as it stops more so as it as it's a fast acting antidepressant. Basically, is that when it's injected, it can work in 20 minutes compared to other antidepressants that could take weeks to start working. It starts nearly immediately, as it blocks the brain signals that that causes depression. Basically, it's where somewhere in your head, somewhere in your brain, where the brain does the thing. And yeah, that's what it does. However, it has not been approved to actually be an antidepressant, but it has been used to help, and it's kind of like it's in its own little, not really zone yet. Getting into the danger zone. What makes ketamine good for illicit use? Good for illicit use as it causes slurred bleach. Ketamine basically makes you high. As you know, it slurs your speech, you feel good, you get relief from pain. Even though it can help depression, it can also cause depression if it's used in people who don't have depression. Diminish reflexes and hallucinations. And it can also cause uncontrolled eye movement. So that's a thing. Now, if you take high doses, it could cause blood pressure drops. Your breathing could get a lot harder as your muscles relax quite a lot. So I'm guessing that you have to put more effort into it. It can cause kidney toxicity. Jesus. Nausea and vomiting. Even though it can also help that, but just like how everything is, everything has side effects. And it can also make you have severe anxiety, panic attacks, things of such nature. And it can also have, if you take too much, actual cognitive effects, as it slows down brain growth or can even harm brain cells taken in a large amount. Finally, my speech is done. So my speech basically was telling you what ketamine is, what's the history of ketamine, how it's used, why is it used in medical, what makes it good for illicit use, and what are the side effects. I hope you enjoy my speech. Goodbye.